The movie opens with an elderly woman named Tala, who is telling an animated story to a group of young children. Tala is the matriarch of the Motunui tribe and the mother of the tribe's chief. She shares the tale of how the ocean first came into existence. At the very beginning, Tefiti, a goddess, emerged from the depths of the ocean. With her heart, a mystical green stone, Tefiti created life and land so that people and creatures could thrive. But over time, some creatures began scheming to steal Tefiti's heart for its incredible powers. Among them was the demigod Maui, who dared to take the heart from Tefiti's island, hoping to use its power. As soon as Maui stole the heart, darkness began to spread across the ocean. In response, Teka, a fiery lava monster, rose up and confronted Maui. They engaged in a fierce battle, and in the chaos, Maui's magical fishhook and Tefiti's heart were lost to the sea. Tala warns the children that darkness has since spread throughout the world, threatening to consume all life. Yet she prophesies that one day, someone will find Maui, return the heart to Tefiti, and restore peace to the world. Among the children listening is MOANA, Tala's granddaughter, who is captivated by the story. However, MOANA's father, the chief, arrives and dismisses the tale, reassuring the children that monsters don't exist, and it's just a myth. But just then, he accidentally knocks over a board, revealing a row of monster masks, causing the children to scream in fright. While everyone is distracted, young MOANA slips away to the ocean's edge, where she spots a beautiful seashell. Just as she reaches for it, she notices a tiny sea turtle being harassed by a flock of birds, preventing it from returning to the ocean. Moved by compassion, MOANA drops the shell and shields the turtle, guiding it safely back to the water. The ocean, impressed by MOANA's kindness, begins to interact with her, creating pathways lined with seashells for her to collect. As she plays with the ocean, it even parts the waves, revealing the lost heart of Tefiti, which has remained hidden for centuries. The ocean gently places the heart in her hand, but before she can fully understand its significance, her father arrives, scooping her up and hurrying her away from the shore. In the commotion, the heart falls back into the ocean, disappearing once again. Years go by, and MOANA grows up under her father's strict expectations, as she is destined to become the next chief of their tribe. Her father discourages her love for the ocean, reminding her that her home and duty lie with their people. Each time MOANA tries to venture toward the sea, her father pulls her back, insisting that the island is her true home. Despite his warnings, MOANA's grandmother Tala encourages her to follow her heart. One day takes MOANA to a sacred place, atop a high mountain on their island. Showing her a stone monument built by their ancestors, explains that each stone represents a past chief, and that someday MOANA will add her own stone to the stack, symbolizing her leadership. Yet MOANA's thoughts remain drawn to the ocean. During her training as future chief, various challenges arise within their community. The coconut harvest fails, and the fishermen report that no fish can be found near the island. MOANA suggests trying new fishing grounds beyond the reef, but her father rejects the idea, forbidding anyone to venture into the deep ocean. After her father leaves, MOANA's mother approaches her, sharing that her father once loved the sea, just as MOANA does. When he was young, he took his brother out beyond the reef, but a terrible storm struck, sinking their boat, and his brother was lost to the waves. Ever since, he has feared the ocean, and that is why he forbids her from exploring it. Torn between her heart's calling and her father's expectations, MOANA wrestles with her choices. She eventually returns to the sacred mountain, where she gazes out at the vast ocean, feeling an undeniable pull. Determined to follow her own path, MOANA sets out with her small pet pig, Pua, attempting to sail into the open sea. However, the powerful waves drive her back to shore, leaving her discouraged. Seeing her struggle, Tala comes to MOANA, guiding her to a hidden cave behind a rock wall. Inside the cave, MOANA discovers a fleet of ancient, powerful sailing canoes. She realizes that her ancestors were voyagers who once explored the ocean, searching for new islands and adventure. In awe, she watches visions of her ancestors navigating the vast seas, understanding that exploration is in her blood. MOANA is shocked by what she discovers in the hidden cave, and rushes to her grandmother Tala, asking why their ancestors stopped voyaging. Tala explains that after Maui stole Te Fiti's heart, darkness spread through the ocean, and the voyagers who ventured out never returned. To protect themselves, their ancestors hid their boats and chose to stay on the island, vowing to live in peace without venturing beyond the reef. Tala reassures Moana that the story is true and expresses her belief that one day someone will restore Te Fiti's heart, saving the world from destruction. She hands Moana the green stone heart, saying that the ocean chose her to complete this important mission. As they speak, the ocean's waves begin to playfully swirl around Moana, confirming her role in this destiny. Inspired and amazed, Moana decides to accept the challenge. However, she's disheartened, as she doesn't know how to sail a boat. Tala comforts her, showing her a constellation in the sky that resembles the shape of Maui's fishhook, marking the direction she must go. With determination, Moana approaches her father, who is busy with the villagers discussing their failing crops. Moana tries to explain her plan to restore Te Fiti's heart, but her father becomes furious, insisting that he should have destroyed the green stone years ago. He storms off, leaving Moana heartbroken. Feeling lost, she runs to the forest, where she finds her grandmother's walking stick. Just then, a villager rushes over, informing her that Tala is very ill. Moana hurries home to find Tala bedridden and near death. As her final act, Tala encourages Moana to follow her heart. She hands the green stone heart to Moana, assuring her that her spirit will always be by her side. With her mother's help, Moana gathers supplies and prepares to leave on her quest. She returns to the cave, chooses one of the boats, and sails into the open ocean. Moana braves the vast sea, looking back one last time to see Tala's spirit guiding her way. Soon, however, she realizes she has an unexpected passenger, Hei, the clueless rooster from her village, who stowed away on her boat. As night falls, a sudden storm strikes, tossing Moana and her boat mercilessly. The storm finally subsides, and Moana awakens to find herself washed ashore on a small island. Frustrated, she accuses the ocean of abandoning her. However, as she checks her necklace, she finds that the green stone heart is still safe. Surveying the island, Moana spots a symbol resembling Maui's fishhook carved into a rock and realizes this is Maui's island. She notices a figure and quickly hides, observing him from afar. When she approaches, Moana boldly tells him that he must help her return Te Fiti's heart. Maui, however, is dismissive, refusing to help. He tricks Moana into a cave and seals the entrance with a heavy boulder, hoping to escape without her. But Moana cleverly manages to escape the cave and chases after him, diving into the ocean to reach his boat. Maui tries to sail away, but with the ocean's help, Moana catches up and climbs aboard. In frustration, Maui tries to throw Moana off the boat, but the ocean keeps returning her, making it clear that she belongs on this quest. Finally, Moana tells Maui that the world's survival depends on returning the heart to Te Fiti. When Maui sees the green stone heart, he grows fearful and hesitant, realizing the gravity of the mission. Maui repeatedly throws Moana overboard, but each time, the ocean returns her to the boat. Frustrated, he finally agrees to help her return Te Fiti's heart, though he is visibly afraid of the green stone. He attempts to throw it back into the ocean, but it keeps returning, and Moana realizes that he's terrified of the stone because of what it represents. Maui admits that long ago, he lost his magical fishhook, his source of strength, while escaping from Te Ka, a powerful lava demon guarding Te Fiti. As they argue, a massive ship appears on the horizon. Maui identifies it as the Kakamora, a group of tiny but fearsome pirates covered in coconut armor. The Kakamora spot Moana's boat and begin attacking, intent on stealing the heart of Te Fiti. In the chaos, the heart slips from Moana's grasp, and Hei, her dim-witted rooster companion, accidentally swallows it. Realizing this, the Kakamora stop their attack on Moana and chase after Hei instead, desperate to retrieve the heart. Maui uses this distraction to escape, but Moana bravely fights back, managing to retrieve Hei and the heart. She and Maui then steer their boat away from the Kakamora, who crash into each other in their pursuit, ultimately falling into the sea. Still wary, Maui hesitates to go through with returning the heart. Moana tries to motivate him by saying he could be a hero again, but Maui insists they need his hook first to face Te Kā. On their journey, Maui reluctantly begins teaching Moana how to sail. Over time, Moana becomes more skilled, growing confident in her newfound abilities. One night, she dreams of her island, Motunui, slowly succumbing to the spreading darkness. Waking up with renewed determination, she and Maui reach Lalatai, the realm of monsters, where his hook is kept by Tamatoa, a giant, treasure-hoarding crab. Moana is apprehensive, but Maui convinces her to climb down a steep cliff into Tamatoa's lair. As they reach the bottom, they find piles of shiny objects, and at the center, Tamatoa holds Maui's hook. Maui tries to distract the crab, while Moana sneaks up, but Tamatoa captures them. Gloating over his collection of treasures, Maui attempts to use his hook to transform, but he struggles, having lost control over his shape-shifting abilities. Using her wits, Moana tricks Tamatoa with a fake green stone, allowing her and Maui to escape. Tamatoa, realizing he's been deceived, is furious, but Moana and Maui manage to flee back to the boat. Impressed by Moana's cleverness, Maui begins to trust her more. As they sail towards Te Fiti, Maui practices with his hook to regain his powers. Though he still struggles, Moana encourages him, asking about the stories behind his tattoos. Maui reveals a painful memory. He was abandoned by his human parents as a child, which led him to steal the heart of Te Fiti to gain the love and approval he always craved. Moana empathizes with him, and the two grow closer, united by their personal struggles and desire to prove themselves. As they near Te Fiti, Maui and Moana are confronted by Te Kā. Maui bravely fights the lava demon, using his hook to deflect her attacks. However, during the struggle, his hook is damaged, causing Maui to become enraged. In his anger, he transforms into an eagle and abandons Moana, leaving her to face Te Kā alone. Heartbroken and defeated, Moana pleads with the ocean to choose someone else to restore the heart, feeling unworthy of the task. In response, the ocean takes the heart from her, and she sits down, overcome with sorrow. At that moment, the spirit of her grandmother appears, encouraging her to listen to her heart. Inspired, Moana dives into the ocean, retrieves the heart of Te Fiti, and renews her resolve. She realizes that Te Kā, made of lava, cannot approach the ocean, and she must find a path around her. With courage and determination, she heads back toward Te Fiti, dodging Te Kā's attacks as she draws closer to the island. Just as Te Kā charges to stop her, Maui returns, choosing to help Moana instead of seeking glory alone. He distracts Te Kā, allowing Moana to reach Te Fiti's island. During their fight, Maui's hook is finally broken, realizing the cost of his past actions, but he refuses to give up. He distracts Te Kā long enough for Moana to sail closer to the island. Moana finally reaches Te Fiti's island, but she finds the goddess missing. She looks around and realizes that the land itself has been devastated. Suddenly, Moana has an epiphany. Te Kā is Te Fiti, corrupted and consumed by anger after her heart was stolen. With newfound determination, Moana faces the raging Te Kā. Holding the heart high, Moana sings a gentle song, reminding Te Kā of who she truly is. Her words pierce through the demon's fury, and the ocean parts to allow Te Kā to approach. Moana fearlessly walks forward, placing the heart back into Te Kā's chest. In an awe-inspiring transformation, Te Kā's fiery exterior melts away, revealing Te Fiti in her full, green, life-giving form. The goddess, once again whole, smiles at Moana with gratitude and relief. Te Fiti's restoration brings balance back to the world. The island blooms with lush greenery, and the ocean returns to its serene, turquoise state. Te Fiti forgives Maui for stealing her heart, understanding his reasons. As a gesture of forgiveness, she uses her immense powers to repair his broken fishhook, restoring his shape-shifting abilities. She then creates a beautiful new boat for Moana, ensuring her safe return home. Maui, now more humble and appreciative, bids Moana a heartfelt farewell, declining her offer to join her people. He thanks her for helping him rediscover his true self, and he transforms into a hawk, soaring into the sky to find his own path. Moana returns to her island, where her people joyfully welcome her back. Her bravery and journey inspire the villagers to rekindle their lost tradition of voyaging. They prepare their boats and set out to explore the vast ocean once more, reclaiming their heritage as navigators and wayfinders. Moana steps into her role as a leader, guiding her people with confidence and wisdom. The film ends with Moana standing proudly at the helm of her boat, gazing out at the endless horizon. Her journey of self-discovery has come full circle, and she is ready to embrace the adventures that await.